This is the Martin 0042 EC Ziricote. Because when you look on the back and sides, it's a very highly figured Ziricote wood.
Well, I'd never heard of that before either. I saw pictures of this, but it's nothing. It's amazing.
I love the
Very lively.
inlay.
Yeah, yeah,
At the bookmarks of it all.
yeah. Oh, that's gorgeous. May I?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Glad you like it. Well, that will come available. That's the 1935 Sunburst.
Okay.
And there'll also be a natural version of this as well.
Oh, a natural with
Yeah.
what with a white top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the same back and sides.
Yeah, with the Ziricote roof.
Yeah.
The figured. Yeah.
So what kind of wood would you use for this? Is that
the top is Adirondack spruce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
As it should be.
Fabulous. Yeah. And white, not with any dyeing or anything like that.
Yeah, it'll be the natural Sierra of the. They have a slightly amber nitrocellulose.
That's good.
But they put on just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just gives it a bit more warmth.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice neck too. It's quite round. Yeah. Fun. Beautiful.
There will also be. Well, I couldn't bring this one with me because it's Brazilian rosewood. There will be another.
You need another passport.
You need some passport. That's right. Probably a couple nowadays. Yeah. So we're only going to be making 5 of those.
Yeah.
They'll be natural, but it's the top of the line, and it's nice as it should.
They make 5
Only
for
5.
sale.
Yeah, only 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Extraordinary. But then you'll need a CITES.
Yeah, they will probably only be available in America.
Yeah.
Because first of all, there's 5.
So they wouldn't travel. Yeah.
You maybe can get into certain countries, maybe England and maybe Japan. But when you're only making 5,
Yeah.
sell in America anyway.
Yeah.
And it's your way one. I know I've got a friend who can get you one, but
Yeah. Under the brown paper bag. Great.
Yeah.
Great. I think it's fantastic.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about, the appointments on the Martins over the years. You've done D28s before that, of course, a bit simpler looking, and then the 42s, a bit grand, and 45s. I was wondering, do you have a preference one way or the other, or does that vary on circumstances?
Sometimes I can't tell. I can't tell the difference. But we've got a 0045 that they made, and a brand new one, and an OM 45 that they made for all the inlay. And I can't tell the difference between. I'm convinced that I'm still convinced that the OM is the rounder,
Right.
with a very strong bottom end, and projects really well.
Yeah.
And that's because I read about the fact it was an orchestra model. So I kind of go. I'm easily led. You know what I mean? If you get, I like to play any guitar where the action is workable. But obviously there's a limit to that. Guitars that don't sound good, either because they've been made with cheap wood or they're not. No one's taking any care. Then you don't want to play it again. But all of these guitars, I still find it difficult with the Dreadnought, and I don't know what. They made one for me, and it's the space it takes up, and the bottom end is so big. It's really big. It's a strummer's. So for fingerstyle playing, I think that these guitars are all interchangeable and they're just slightly different. It's very subtle differences. When I was younger, I could be more specific.
Yeah.
But now, I've got whistling in my ear one time. So, all of this stuff comes into play. But I just think they are the most superb guitar, the triple O shape and the concept is it for me.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Yeah, and the 42. What year was that? That was the Unplugged. Good. What was that? The 39 Clapton thing in 39. So this is it, really. Yeah.
Just we put your name in there.
Yeah.
Now this is a 00013.
Yeah.
E for electric. It's got a pickup in it and the tunable built in.
Yeah.
And this would be the most affordably priced Martin acoustic we've ever done with your signature.
It sounds great. I like that bass. You don't have a bit of the idea. I love it. Yeah. It takes you by surprise, and it's great. It's got. This is nice, man. It's got a lovely neck. Yeah.
And this is also Ziricote.
Yeah.
It's a veneer.
It works really well.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful guitar.
Glad you like it.
Yeah, I do.
Now, this is going to be available for a few years. So
Right.
I think that and I think it's going to be very popular. I think that, obviously we're here to support Crossroads. I think that this will do very well.
Yeah, and oh, look at that. And it's got a body strap on it too.
And in the right place.
Yeah.
Because now you mentioned to me once that you can't stand the ones that come off of the head.
Yeah, well, it's difficult. I've never found that a natural way to hold it because it's all out of balance. But I think that's great. And I've noticed that a lot of people, there's something about the vintage thing going on. That people, like I see a lot of stuff on YouTube or people playing what look like vintage instruments, like old Gibsons and things from the 40s and 30s. So that look is very popular.
And you can hardly see it, but there's the tuning that's popping right down there. So it's really convenient.
Oh, yeah.
Because not everyone has a dandelion, I think your fans are going to love it. And I think what's not to love? Really?
Yeah.
It's just a great guitar. If I could add a more philosophical question for you.
Yeah.
I was searching this morning, Unplugged, just the album, aside from streaming and what have you, just the album sold 26 million copies.
I can't even I can't.
26 million.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I didn't want it out. Really? You didn't know that? I didn't know that. No. There's a $100 bill on the wall of Lenny Waronker's office that he won from me because I said, I bet you $100 it don't even go into the top 50, because he thought this is a hit album. And he was head of Warner Brothers at that time.
Yeah.
And Russ Tyson produced it. And me and Andy sat in my kitchen in Chelsea where you were. And we worked out all the kind of variations we could do on the songs. We did like the Layla version and we did it. And I thought, I don't know, no one who's going to like, I just couldn't get I said, I tell you what, I wanted to do a deal with them to say, well, so I put it out as a limited edition that you could, like 500 copies or something. But I don't want to hear it anymore. And I had a real aversion to it for a long time. And then I found out over the next 20 years or so that that's the Clapton that people know. Because people didn't really, a lot of what I was doing before that was either far too that way or underground or too popping. And I thought, okay, well, I have to listen to this again. And then when this anniversary thing happened, when Surf Dog pushed it as we could see it in the cinema. I took my kids to see it. And I got it, but... And the way we worked hard. Me and Andy worked so hard on that Malted Milk, getting that really right to the Robert Johnson version. So yeah, I have to acknowledge it, but I still got a funny thing about it. It's just a little bit polite or something to me.
It's very successful.
It's very successful.
Chris Martin, he said to me, that album, Eric Clapton Unplugged, it basically saved the night in guitar.
Well, I love that. I mean, and I'm really, really proud of that, and the fact that he sees it that way, because when I saw my first Eel Pie Island. So I was a kid, going to Eel Pie Island, and I was playing a George Washburn that I paid £2.50 for or something in a Kingston market. I saw a dreadnought. Someone opened the case. They said, "Come and look at this." There was a crowd gathered around this guitar case, and they opened the lid, and there was a dreadnought in there. And just the pegs. I thought, wow, one day I'm going to have one of those.
I've got a few now.
I've got a few now. And then when I saw the triple O, the wasted body, I thought, oh, that's the most beautiful shape. Picasso could have done that,
Yeah.
So it was a real ambition to get one. And I can't even remember when I did now. I've been through so many models. These two that I play at the moment, I can't tell the difference between the 45 and the OM. And it baffles me because they're never usually in the same room together.
Maybe they're one and the same.
Yeah, maybe they are. But the thing is, he tells me that the scratch plate on the OM is shorter.
Oh.
It doesn't come all the way up to the top.
There's so many, when you go back over the years or decades or hundreds of years of mine,
yeah,
I got a lot of variations on a thing.
Little subtle.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking was, with that album, 26 million purchases, you must have influenced millions of people to take up music with that album, along with everything else.
Well, I started on the acoustic.
Yeah,
that's the thing, and when I practice on the acoustic, and it makes you play a certain way. And I always revert back to what I heard as a kid that made me want to play, and it is acoustic blues. Then I heard electric blues, and then I heard
Bill Brunsey, what?
Bill Brunsey, yeah. Josh White was very popular. He toured all over England, and Sonny J and Brownie McGee. And there was, I remember when Muddy came here with an electric guitar, it was like, what's all this? It was just like Bob Dylan, but like 50 years before, so they had to come back again acoustically. So it was very much the skiffle thing was going on, and it was really big, and that's what gave me, I thought, well, I'm not doing well at school with what I'm being taught, so I need, and I'd got so much out of music, I'm gonna try and play the guitar, because it moved me so much, the sound of solo guitar, the Everly Brothers and all of the sounds that you could get out of the acoustic guitar. So I gradually worked my way up to one of these, and that was it.
But do you ever think about the legacy that you've built for inspiring other people?
I can't even imagine. Yeah, I do sometimes if I'm down, I think, well, do you think people might not know about Robert Johnson as much as they do now if you hadn't made a pilgrimage to that? And I was telling Malia, we were telling yesterday, I think we were having a conversation about causes and missions and things, and I think, well, that was probably that was my main cause, that everybody ought to know this name.
Right.
Everybody ought to know who this man was, because for me, he opened it all up. I thought I'd heard everything until I heard that one album.
Yeah.
With Crossroads and everything.
Well, you look how Crossroads as a name.
And Crossroads.
Been impacting your life and taking you further.
It's all connected to that buzz that I got from hearing him on his own first time. Then he disappeared. It's like, what is this?
What do you think about that legacy and then the mystery of selling his soul to the devil?
Oh, I think it's a lot of tinsel on it, but I think it's a lot of malarkey, really, I suppose. That they make them films that have been based on it, and it's a good myth. It's not necessarily something I would believe. No, I think I heard that he was The first one I heard was that he had that, yes, all this gone down to the Crossroads, all that. But then that there was jealousy involved. He was poisoned by
a jealous husband, a womanizer.
So, and the only people that ever met him were Son House and oh God, what was the other guy? Charlie Patton.
Oh yeah,
those two. He got up with the word. It was on the album. I think I read the notes on the album. He got up and asked if he could play with them, and they told him to go away and he could play a little better, you know. And that's when he supposedly did. But I don't know. I think he just was. I also think there's a lot of other legends from that. Leroy Carr was an inspiration for him, and because I also heard Muddy say that. Muddy listened to Leroy Carr. Leroy Carr was a piano player who played with a guy called Scrapper Blackwell. Remember, they were a guitar-piano duo, and I can hear that. And I really love Leroy Carr. And if you don't know about me, take my word for it, it's beautiful music. It's very delicate, and it's good blues, you know. And he wrote loads and loads of songs, almost like W.C. Handy. You know, I've always thought Leroy Carr was, you know, that he's the real guy. So I think, you know, Rob Johnson, he just went off on his own and got it right.
Yeah, he did.
And I thought, man, this is the closest. And you know, I've heard Keith Richards say, this is, you know, there's two people playing. One person can't be doing this because he sings independently to what he's playing. It's mastercraft, you know.
Could you play a little Robert on there?
Oh, I did a little, but I just did that, the one I played. And he always plays that.
It's a great.
But that's Brunswick. So I combine Brunswick when I do it. I've got lots of different things, you know.
Yeah, we've got so many influences, haven't we?
Yeah, I've heard so many things. I love to listen to that stuff more than anything, really. This is a great idea.
Great, glad you like it.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I'm thinking that it'd be great for all your fans that couldn't afford, you know, the more fancy pieces, and they got this. It's just a fabulous guitar at a great price.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to see what it looks like with the mic top.
Well, let's do that. We've got one here.
We've got one here. Yeah, great. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah, there you go.
I think I prefer the Sunburst one because it's got that vintage look.
Yeah. I mean, this is your staple, right? Everyone loves a natural acoustic, but the Sunburst it's so distinct.
Yeah, it's got some character, but it's the sound too. Yeah, I think they're great.
Oh yeah, and the
price will be the same. Yeah, well.
Tune was just popping on when you were playing.
Yeah.
That's a tuner. That is a tuner. I know. Yeah. You don't know?
No, I'm not with technology at all. I mean,
there you go. Hello. That's me.
Oh my God. When did that come into being?
All mod cons.
Has it been around a long time?
Not that long, no. Well, that is one of the smallest and neatest tuner install jobs I've seen. They aren't always as nice as that.
Wow. When you told me that, I thought, it means you've got your control of it. I didn't know. Well, thank you. It's fabulous.
By the way, you get to keep the natural one and the Sunburst.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, those are few. The 42 is a prototype. It has to go back.
Yeah.
Get you one.
Yeah.
Can't have that one.
Yeah. What's the? Yeah. All right. What is there something to change on it or?
No, not unless you say so, and you haven't, so we won't. But they still
Yeah.
leave it back.
Yeah.
I think they have a golden sample for production.
Okay.
And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they need that one to work from, but these ones you can have them, and we'll get a 42 to you as soon as possible.
Okay.
Maybe at Crossroads. Maybe we'll deliver it to you there.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah. I'll be there.
Yeah, I should hope so.
Hiding away somewhere, but I'll be there.